Hello, friends. Just this past weekend, my wife said she wanted to watch a Christmas movie, so we settled on Miracle on 34th Street. I know you know the story. It's about Santa Claus who comes into Macy's parade and into Macy's and becomes their Santa Claus. And he's telling everybody that he's Santa Claus, and people are having a hard time believing it, right? So the whole movie progresses where he convinces everyone that he's Santa Claus, even at the end of the movie, where he's declared in a court of law as the one true Santa Claus. And everybody gets their presents and what have you. It's a cute story, and I don't want to say anything critical about it, but it really is bound in time. I mean, the kids are all saying, I wanted this present, I want that present. There's no mention of God. There's no mention of Jesus in it. It's all a story about Santa Claus. And you know how it is in our culture. We sort of elevate the myth to godlike proportions. Like, he knows whether you're naughty or nice. He's omnipresent. He knows everything. Omniscient. um, but everybody knows that it's a myth. Okay, it's a beautiful myth. But this day on the 6th is the feast day of Saint Nicholas. Yes, the one who inspired all this. And we just finished last Saturday our breakfast with Saint Nick. And Saint Nick is not a myth. He's very, very real. He was a bishop in the 4th century. And as far as we know, he was born into a wealthy family, became bishop. He used all his money to help people and the poor. And he also was at the Council of Nicaea. He was involved with putting down the Arian heresy of the time. And he was known as a miracle worker. And we don't know that much more about him, but he's really grown into a huge proportion. And many churches venerate him. But see, he is not a myth, because he has tapped into the power of Jesus Christ, and he changed his world. And the gifts that God gives are tailor-made for us, You'll hear this question all the time. If you're asking yourself, what do you want? What do you want for Christmas? And trying to think, well, what can I do? Blah, blah, blah. Just go, like that. God never gives gifts like that. They're tailor-made for you. And he gives them to us for a purpose far beyond ourselves. And what happens then is that we end up changing the world around us, like the real Saint Nick. So I'm excited about Saint Nick today. And we also want to, in passing at the end here, talk about this coming weekend where you could sign up for 40 hours of prayer. It's good, like we talked about in our homily last week, to be in perspective, ask Jesus to help us acknowledge the sins that are in our hearts, so we can be prepared the next week for the reconciliation service. Because after all, Advent is a time of reflection, of waiting, and of repentance. So, God bless you.